Hello, beautiful morning to you. Welcome to Breakfast News. I am David Okwasale. The headlines this morning. Governor Obiano urges Federal Road Safety Corps to enforce installation of speed limit devices to reduce road crashes. Anambra State Government directs immediate removal of cooking gas plants from petrol stations. Lagos State Government commences demolition of defective buildings. On the foreign scene, protesters arrested in Hong Kong over proposed China extradition law. The state government says it will intensify enforcement of ban on street trading in the coming weeks. Governor Willie Obiano stated this while commiserating with the Opi Weka, Onitsha, and Umuchu accident victims. Government House correspondent Ejika Bana has details.
Governor Obiano, while assuring that state government will pay the victims' hospital bill, noted that from the briefing he got, many of the people involved in the accident were street traders, adding that investigation is ongoing, which will help to work out ways to prevent future accidents in the area. He urged Anambra to enroll into the state health insurance scheme to give them easy access to quality health services, especially during emergencies.
The people here are being treated by the government, and it's not all the time that the government will rally around and be able to do so, depending on the location, But if you have medical health insurance scheme, you'll be appropriately treated. It's also an opportunity to advise the Anambra on insuring their property. Insurance is one of the ways to get some succor when you have a challenge.
At Afo Ibuhubu, Umuchu accident scene, Governor Obiano asked Anambra to invest in property insurance to protect their business against disaster in case of emergencies, urging them to go to their local government offices to enroll in the state health insurance scheme. The governor further directed the Federal Road Safety Corps to enforce installation of speed limit devices to reduce road crashes, adding that state government will pay the hospital bills of the victims.
I understand 3 people died. The truck is still there. I'm going to direct the road safety to borrow a crane from one of our major contractors to be able to pull that truck out. Once more is to sympathize with the families that lost the loved ones, and to reassure the other people that the government will take care of the injured.
The State Police Commissioner, Mr. Rabiu Ladodo, Health Commissioner, Dr. Joe Akabike, Commissioner for Transportation, Mr. Uchenno Kafo, among others, accompanied the governor on the visit. Recall that the Opi Weka accident involving some vehicles, including a petrol tanker laden with about 33,000 liters of kerosene, claimed some lives and injured others, while 3 people lost their lives at the Umuchu accident, and 8 victims are currently receiving treatment in a hospital. From Umuchu, in Aguata Council area, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
Meanwhile, the Anambra State Government's Executive Council Committee on Siting of Gas Plants and Filling Stations has directed owners of illegal petrol and gas stations to remove them immediately. A statement signed by the chairman of the State Fiscal Planning Board, Barrister Chike Madekwe, noted that petrol station operators who irregularly added mini cooking gas plants within their facilities have not complied with the removal order served them on the 16th of October 2018 by the Anambra State Fiscal Planning Board. The statement warned that the committee shall, with effect from Thursday, 21st March 2019, commence removal of mini cooking gas plants from all petrol stations in Anambra State, while government shall recover the cost of removal of these illegal developments from the developers and owners. Local government youth officers in the state have been urged to ensure effective implementation of state government projects for youths in their areas. Anambra State Commissioner for Youth Empowerment and Creative Economy, Honorable Bonaventure Nemale, gave the charge while declaring open a one-day summit organized by the Ministry for Anambra State Local Government Youth Officers in Oka. Njideko Koye has details.
The one-day summit with the theme Effective, Proactive and Efficient Youth Engagement at the local government level was well attended by youth officers in different local government areas of the state. Addressing the participants, Commissioner Enemali said that the summit is symbolic in the history of youth empowerment and was aimed at reviewing the activities of the youth officers and equip them for effective service towards youth empowerment and development in their areas. He urged them to work hard to ensure that One Youth, One Skill scheme of the ministry will be achieved.
My advice to the participants is very simple. It's for them to take ownership of what belongs to them, to get closer to the youth, to sensitize youth at the local government level. And what they have been trained today, let them put it into use wholeheartedly, and then make sure that the youth of Anambra State are indeed happy in benefiting what the government is out to do for them.
On her part, the permanent secretary of the ministry, Mrs. Steph Kelly Uzo, urged them to have passion for their work and organize programs and skill acquisition training for youths in their areas. Mrs. Uzo stated that the state government, through the ministry, is committed to training and empowering youths in the state and advised them to work towards achieving it.
This year's budget was beamed solely on youth empowerment. There's also a need for us to arm our youth development officers so that they will be poised to face the challenges in their various local government areas, especially in the area of youth engagement.
Resource persons at the summit, including the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Youth Entrepreneurship, Pastor Ugo Emechebe, charged them to involve the youths in challenging actions that can create positive and social changes in their lives, while Ms. Chomo Kafo advised them to build self-confidence in the youths. Another resource person and the State Commander of National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Alhaji Sule Mahmudu, spoke on dangers of drug abuse and advocated creation of more awareness among the youths. In a vote of thanks on behalf of other participants, Mr. Chibuzo Ude thanked Governor Obiano and the ministry for having interest in youths and their empowerment. In Oka, Njideka Okoye, ABS News.
On health, a former Minister of Women Affairs, Iyom Josephine Aneni, has called for proactive measures to check increasing cases of Alzheimer's disease. Iyom Aneni, who is the chairman of Alzheimer's Disease Foundation, called for sustained efforts to reduce the effects of the disease. The former Women Affairs Minister, who was speaking on ABS Radio Live program Nzuka Anambra, said an increased awareness will help create necessary attention on the disease and drive for more policy direction towards its reduction in the society. Ogochukwu Okeke has a report.
Alzheimer's disease, AD, is a chronic neurodegenerative disease that usually starts slowly and gradually worsens over time, causing about 60 to 70% of cases of dementia. And the most common early symptom is difficulty in remembering recent events. Iyom Aneni said Alzheimer's Disease Foundation is a non-governmental, non-political and charitable organization working to alleviate the impact of AD in Nigerian communities by providing enhanced care and support to the affected individuals, as well as reduce the risk of developing dementia through health and lifestyle education. She reiterated that Alzheimer's disease has no current cure, but treatment for symptoms are available. Noting that the dementia mostly affects people above 60 years of age, Iyom Aneni noted that one's lifestyle may lead to dementia. Lifestyles like intake of alcoholic drinks, drugs, and others, and advise people to always interact with others, be spiritually alert, reduce sugar intake, alcoholic drinks, and drugs intake. She recommended regular exercise and maintenance of a happy mood as some ways to combat the escalation of the disease in the country.
Sugar, adoroma for the brain. At all, sugar. Pay for sugar, adoroma for the brain. So wait to not attack and sugar. Maka onye imana ndị ma onye kabanka ba onye kabanka all the likely all the prone all the likely no ga enwe medical diabetes on all is all a factor agent to dementia.
In Oka, Ogochukwu Okeke reporting for ABS News.
And in politics, the word inconclusive election is becoming a recurring decimal in the nation's electoral process. In the just concluded general elections, virtually every major poll comes back with strings of anomalies, leading sometimes to inconclusive elections. In this special report, correspondent Daniel Ezigwe sampled the opinions of experts on the effect of inconclusive elections in democratic governance. We're sorry for that technical fault. We'll bring you that report in our subsequent bulletins. Still to come on the news, Lagos State government commences demolition of defective buildings, and on the foreign soon we'll tell you that protesters have been arrested in Hong Kong over proposed China extradition law. Stay with us.
Here is a public service announcement. Anambra State government cancels collection of levies and fees in all markets in Anambra State. This is to inform the public that Anambra State government has cancelled the collection of all forms of levies and fees in markets and streets in Anambra State. The cancellation will be in effect until 1st June 2019. The 3-month cancellation period is to enable government and leadership of the various markets to deliberate and agree on a better and more effective model of collecting fees and levies in the markets. The public is hereby also reminded that the ban on sales of emblem is still in force. Anybody caught violating this cancellation and ban on sales of emblem will be arrested and prosecuted. This is for the attention of market unions and their leadership, traders, security agencies, and the public. Announcer, Mr. C. Don Adenoba, Honorable Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment.
You're watching Breakfast News on Anambra Broadcasting Television, Service Television. We move now to Lagos, where the Lagos State government, through the Lagos State Building Control Agency, has commenced the demolition of defective buildings within Lagos Island. This is coming barely 48 hours after a 3-story building which came down on Wednesday, killing about 15 persons, was reported to have been marked for demolition several months ago, but was still occupied until it caved in. According to media reports, the agency's task force began with the demolition of a 3-story building on Freeman Street at Betedo. According to the general manager of LASBCA, Lekan Chodeinde, about 180 houses will be demolished in their size. The agency said the property owners had been served several notices dating back to 2013. On business, the federal government has launched an app in its quest to further enhance the increase of doing business in Nigeria. Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Mr. Okechukwu Enelema, who launched the app in Lagos, said the app will ensure adequate access to information which is needed to improve business decisions. He stated that with the app, people can make a complaint and it is forwarded to the affected ministry, department or agency, MDA of government, to respond to, and they can also follow up on the status of their complaint and get a feedback. Hong Kong police have arrested 5 women who staged a protest inside the government's headquarters over a proposal to allow fugitives to be extradited to mainland China, stoking human rights concerns. In February, Hong Kong's Security Bureau submitted a paper to the city's legislature proposing amendments to extradition laws that will include granting the city's leader executive power to send fugitives to jurisdictions not covered by existing arrangements, including mainland China and Taiwan. The proposal has been strongly opposed by some lawmakers, legal and rights groups who fear that such could be exploited by Beijing's Communist Party leaders and lead to an erosion of Hong Kong's judicial independence. In video footage posted online, the 5 who were demanding the extradition amendments be scrapped rushed into a lobby of government headquarters where they staged a sit-down protest, opposed legalized kidnapping. The women, including several members of pro-democracy party Demosisto, shouted. They were later hauled out by police into vehicles. And on sports this morning, Adekuroye eyes return to world number 1. Nigeria female wrestling sensation Odunayo Adekuroye has expressed delight with her 4th place global ranking, but stressed she is capable of returning to number 1 in the world, which she held at a point in 2017. After a title-winning outing at the German Grand Prix and equally great Bulgarian Open run, the 2-time Commonwealth Games champion said she will work hard to climb higher in the women's 57-kilogram wrestling class. Adekuroye insists her performances last month in Germany and Bulgaria give her fresh insights into her form, which is said she will now use to soar on the rankings by United World Wrestling. She will, however, have to contend with the opposition posed by China's Ning Yingrong, who tops the women's 57-kilogram, as well as Bilian Dunova of Bulgaria in 2nd and Grace Bolen of Norway lying 3rd. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging on to our website, www.absradiotv.com. You can like us at www.facebook.com/ABSRadioTelevision. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Now the main points again before we go. Governor Obiano urges Federal Road Safety Corps to enforce installation of speed limit devices to reduce road crashes. Anambra State government has directed immediate removal of cooking gas plants from petrol stations. Lagos State government has commenced demolition of defective buildings. On the foreign scene, protesters have been arrested in Hong Kong over proposed China extradition law. That is the news this morning. I am David Owokwasile. The weekend show continues right after now. Stay with us.